3. Ongoing tensions between Jungkook and HYBE. Tension 3. Creative autonomy versus corporate framework. One of the most fundamental tensions between Jungkook and HYBE lies in the area of creative autonomy. Jungkook has always been recognized as an artist who values authenticity, precision, and personal expression. From his earliest days in BTS, he showed a strong interest in producing, directing, and shaping his own performances. Over time, this desire has grown stronger. Yet, HYBE operates on a corporate framework that prioritizes structured releases, controlled narratives, and coordinated group branding. This system ensures consistency, marketability, and commercial success. For HYBE, creative control is not just an artistic choice, it is a business requirement. The company must guarantee that every release aligns with its larger business goals, whether for BTS, solo projects, or brand partnerships. This is where conflict arises. Jungkook often seeks freedom to experiment vocally, stylistically, and conceptually, but HYBE's framework limits the extent to which he can act independently. His solo work, such as 7, 3D, and his album Golden, provides a clear case study. While the songs achieved massive success, many industry observers noted how the releases reflected HYBE's commercial strategy more than Jungkook's personal artistry. The highly polished Western-style production, the collaborations with major US artists, and the emphasis on global charts all signaled corporate design. For Jungkook, this presents a dilemma. He thrives on artistic exploration. He is known to record multiple takes, test different vocal techniques, and experiment with genres beyond what the company plans. Fans have seen glimpses of this through his live broadcasts, where he casually shares unreleased songs or sings covers in his own style. These moments often carry a raw, unfiltered quality, one that contrasts sharply with the packaged perfection of HYBE's official releases. The ongoing tension is that HYBE's system leaves little room for this rawness to reach the public stage. Every official track must pass through multiple corporate filters, producers, marketing teams, executives, all of whom have commercial priorities. As a result, Jungkook's natural desire for independent expression is frequently contained within a corporate mold. This tension has consequences. On one hand, HYBE's structure ensures Jungkook's global dominance by carefully curating his releases. On the other hand, it risks restraining his artistic identity. Fans who admire Jungkook for his authenticity sometimes feel a disconnect between the music he releases officially and the passion he displays in informal settings. This gap itself becomes a reflection of the ongoing struggle between autonomy and corporate control. The most striking example came during the promotions of Golden. Jungkook often expressed both pride and exhaustion in interviews. While he praised the global production quality, he also hinted at how demanding and systematic the process was. His repeated comments about feeling tired, about trying to keep up, suggested that the pace and scale of the corporate-driven solo campaign did not fully align with his personal rhythm as an artist. Moreover, Jungkook has expressed interest in songwriting and production, yet his contributions in this area remain limited in HYBE's official releases. While other BTS members have frequently taken on producing roles in their solo projects, Jungkook's solo output was heavily shaped by external producers chosen by HYBE. This difference highlights the company's strategic decision to position Jungkook primarily as a global pop performer, rather than as a self-producing artist. For Jungkook, the issue is not about rejecting collaboration or refusing structure. Rather, it is about the balance. He has repeatedly shown that he values teamwork, discipline, and guidance. However, as he grows older and more experienced, he seeks greater ownership of his art. The lack of balance between his vision and the corporate framework is what fuels the ongoing tension. This struggle for creative autonomy is not unique to Jungkook, but his case is intensified by his global status. With millions of fans worldwide and unmatched digital influence, every artistic choice he makes carries global impact. This amplifies both the stakes for HYBE and the frustration for Jungkook. HYBE must protect its commercial interests, but Jungkook must protect his identity as an artist. Neither side can easily compromise without risking something fundamental. Tension 2. Global brand control versus individual identity. Beyond the issue of creative autonomy, another major source of tension between Jungkook and HYBE lies in the realm of global brand control. Jungkook is not only a musician, he has become a global icon whose name carries enormous value across industries, music, fashion, luxury goods, sports, and beyond. HYBE, as a corporation, understands this value deeply and has sought to maximize it through brand partnerships, endorsements, and marketing campaigns. However, the management of Jungkook's brand identity often creates friction, as his personal image and choices sometimes conflict with HYBE's corporate strategies. From the earliest stages of his solo career, Jungkook has been positioned as a centerpiece of global expansion. When he became the face of Calvin Klein, the impact was immediate and measurable. Sales spikes, global media coverage, and dominance in online conversations. HYBE leveraged this moment to reinforce its own corporate reputation, presenting Jungkook not just as an artist, but as a symbol of HYBE's global influence. Yet, this also meant that Jungkook's personal brand was no longer entirely his own. It was framed, shaped, and projected through the lens of corporate branding. This creates a tension, because Jungkook's personal appeal has always come from authenticity. Fans admire him for being relatable, unfiltered, and natural, often pointing to his live streams and casual interactions as the truest reflection of who he is. When corporate campaigns package him in a highly curated way, the result sometimes feels distant from that authenticity. The contrast between Jungkook, the global Calvin Klein ambassador, and Jungkook singing casually on live highlights how his identity is split between corporate branding and personal reality. HYBE's need to control Jungkook's global brand is not without reason. The company faces constant pressure to maintain dominance in the highly competitive entertainment industry. By managing Jungkook's image carefully, HYBE ensures consistency across markets, aligns him with global business partners, and protects the company's financial interests. For example, Calvin Klein's campaigns featuring Jungkook were executed with precision timing, aligning with key music releases and generating maximum media coverage. To HYBE, this level of coordination is essential. However, the cost of this coordination is Jungkook's individuality. He becomes less of an independent brand and more of a corporate asset. This is where tension grows stronger. Jungkook has repeatedly demonstrated that he values independence in how he presents himself. He chooses his own fashion off stage, experiments with tattoos and hairstyles, and communicates directly with fans without corporate filters. These personal choices reflect his desire to control his own brand identity. Yet, HYBE's global branding efforts often overshadow or reshape these choices into something that fits their larger strategy. The issue is not simply about fashion or image. It extends to how Jungkook is positioned in the global music industry. His collaborations with Western producers and artists, while successful, were carefully orchestrated to align with HYBE's global branding strategy. They positioned Jungkook as a sleek, international pop figure, which boosted his recognition in Western markets. But they also left little room for his organic growth as an artist, exploring his unique sound and identity. The branding overshadowed the artistry, creating another layer of conflict. Furthermore, Jungkook's immense popularity means that every move he makes carries brand implications. When he appears at an airport, wears a certain outfit, or uses a product, the effect ripples across global markets. This makes him one of the most valuable branding assets in the world, but it also traps him within a system where spontaneity becomes nearly impossible. HYBE's corporate control intensifies because the stakes are so high. Every casual appearance can influence millions of dollars in sales or stock value. The ongoing tension here is about ownership. Who owns Jungkook's brand, Jungkook himself, or HYBE as his managing corporation? On paper, HYBE manages his activities. In reality, Jungkook's personal actions often define the brand more than corporate campaigns do. This creates an unstable dynamic. HYBE wants to control the narrative, but Jungkook's authenticity naturally drives it in directions that the company cannot fully predict or contain. Tension 1. Career direction beyond BTS versus corporate strategy. Perhaps the most delicate and long-lasting tension between Jungkook and HYBE lies in the matter of career direction beyond BTS. While BTS remains the foundation of Jungkook's fame, his career as an individual artist has taken on a life of its own. He is no longer seen merely as the youngest member of the group, but as a solo performer with global recognition that rivals even established Western pop stars. This dual identity as a BTS member and as a solo powerhouse creates a complex situation where Jungkook's personal ambitions may not always align with HYBE's corporate strategy for BTS as a whole. HYBE has built its reputation and global empire on BTS. The group's unprecedented success serves as the backbone of the company's financial and cultural power. For HYBE, keeping BTS intact and ensuring that each member's activities ultimately serve the group's long-term future is crucial. Every solo project, endorsement, or public appearance is viewed in relation to its effect on BTS as a collective brand. For Jungkook, however, his career naturally pushes him into territory that extends beyond the group framework. His solo singles like 7 and 3D broke records globally, achieving results that few Asian artists have ever reached in Western markets. His debut solo album Golden further reinforced his position as a global pop figure independent of BTS. These milestones demonstrate that Jungkook's career path could stand on its own, separate from the group identity. Here lies the ongoing tension. Should Jungkook's career be shaped primarily as part of BTS's collective future, or should it be allowed to grow independently as its own global trajectory? HYBE's corporate strategy leans toward the former. The company consistently frames BTS as the center of all activities, positioning each solo release as part of the group's broader legacy rather than as fully independent careers. This ensures loyalty to the BTS brand, keeps fans engaged collectively, and protects the company's long-term revenue. However, this approach often limits how far individual members, including Jungkook, can diverge from the BTS image. Jungkook's career success as a soloist complicates this strategy. His ability to dominate global charts, collaborate with Western artists, and become the face of luxury brands places him in a position where he can command an independent path. The more his solo career flourishes, the more difficult it becomes for HYBE to frame his activities purely within the BTS narrative. This tension is ongoing and unresolved, as both sides seek to balance individual ambition with group preservation. Another layer of this tension lies in timing. BTS is currently on hiatus due to military service obligations, with plans to regroup once all members complete their enlistment. During this period, HYBE has carefully managed solo activities to maintain momentum while preserving anticipation for the group's eventual return. For Jungkook, however, the timing has created both opportunities and challenges. On one hand, the hiatus gave him space to launch his solo career on a global scale. On the other hand, the temporary nature of the hiatus means that his solo momentum is always framed as in between BTS activities, rather than as a long-term independent path. This creates an unstable environment. Jungkook's solo career could potentially grow into a permanent, dominant, global presence, but HYBE's strategic need to reunite BTS limits how far he can diverge. Every decision whether to release a new album, sign a brand partnership, or appear at global events becomes a negotiation between his personal trajectory and the company's timeline for BTS. The tension is further amplified by the scale of Jungkook's success. His solo achievements have been so strong that they sometimes overshadow not only BTS as a group, but also the solo activities of other members. This creates internal challenges within HYBE's corporate strategy, which relies on presenting all members as equally vital parts of the BTS brand. For Jungkook, this is not necessarily intentional, but it raises questions about whether HYBE sees his individual career as an asset to celebrate or as a risk to manage.